and welcome back to So God Told You to Write a Book, Now What? I'm your host, Wendy Jo Cerna, and we are jumping into the new year with the second half of Season 2. I hope you've enjoyed the interviews with the authors in the first 9 episodes in this season. Wow, what a treasure trove of wisdom, experience, and practical tips. But don't turn off those listening ears just yet. There's more to come in the months ahead. So hop on board for the second half of Season 2 of So God Told You to Write a Book, Now What? I'm convinced you're going to find exactly what you need to help you obey the call of God on your life to create the book He has given you to create. Hey, if the author and finisher of all things told you to write a book, He believes that you can. And so do I. So come on. Let's write. Hello, authors, and welcome back to So God Told You to Write a Book, Now What? We're on episode 17 of season 2, and today we have another distinct privilege of having a debut novelist with us. Welcome to the show, Karen Higgins.
Thank you, Wendy Jo. I'm absolutely honored and so grateful to be here with you today.
Oh, it's a delight to have a brand new debut. I've had a few on the show this season, and it's been super fun to walk through the journey, because a lot of the people who listen to my podcasts are either just contemplating writing books or just starting on their journey and don't really know where they're going, or, like all of us.
Yeah.
So it's great to have somebody here who's fresh off the I've made it all the way through to having a book in my hand stage.
Right. Yes. It's very exciting. A little overwhelming at times, but I'm just grateful that this finally happened.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to talk about you have a new book. It just came out a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was April 2nd. What are we at? The 4th or the 6th?
We're the 6th. We're the 6th recording today.
So
So just a few days ago.
4-day-old book.
Yes, but it's been in the womb for a long time, I think.
Very long time.
Yeah. So it's entitled A Garden Grows, and it is the first book in the Hills of Harvest series.
Correct.
So you have do you have any idea how many books are in this series, or you're just...
Well, I'm contracted for 3.
Okay.
So we'll get through that. There might be another one in me. I don't know. We'll see. And we'll see what the publisher thinks,
Okay.
I don't know. That's down the road.
Right, exactly. It's like asking someone, are you having another baby? Right after they've just given birth to the one.
Right.
Let me breathe for a minute. Enjoy the one I have. Yes.
Yes.
So Karen Higgins, do you live in Washington State? I know you're part of Northwest Christian Writers. We've never met person to person, but I've heard about you through Kim Vandal.
Yeah.
You are in a critique group, or have been in a critique group with her?
Yes, I am. Oh man, they're fabulous. Kim Vandal, Kathleen Freeman, and Mindy Peltier, who actually live in Montana. And I do live in Washington, although I'm living at the beach now, down in Long Beach, which is fabulous. We had a little beach house there. And we actually moved there about a year ago. Permanently. Well, permanently, temporarily. So we came from Spokane, and before that we were in Everett. So yeah, it's
been kind of on all corners of Washington State.
Yeah, it's been a journey. Kind of mirrors my writing journey. So
yes. And you're the mom of 5 kids. Are they all grown adults now, out of the house?
They are. My baby just turned 20 the other day.
Wow.
But he's still in the home. He's not quite ready to launch. So that's fine. We're actually just really enjoying having him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He gets a chance to be an only child for a few months.
Kind of enjoying it as much as he can. Yeah.
So you've done homeschooling. Did you do homeschooling with all of your kids?
I did.
All the way through?
All the way through. Well, yeah, all the way through. In high school, they all joined an organization, a school that met 1 day a week. So that was accredited, and other teachers and stuff. But I was still definitely involved in kind of more in the managerial position, I guess. Making sure they're getting stuff done, making sure they're ready for tests, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big
And with
enterprise.
maths.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy, I
Wow.
know.
My hat's off to you. That's a whole career right there that so you've sort
Yeah.
of come out the other side of that. Were you
Yeah.
always writing? Let me ask, did you always want to be a writer? Did you always write, or is this a fairly new
Um,
thing for you?
yeah, it's kind of funny. I've always been a reader.
Yeah.
Always been a reader, voracious reader. It wasn't actually until I was homeschooling my kids and teaching them to write. Uh,
Ah.
let's see, this was 18 years ago, or yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, I was teaching them to write story,
Hmm.
and it just sparked something inside of me, and
Interesting.
it wouldn't let me go. Like my mind was churning and churning and churning through stories. And I finally got to the point where I'm like, Lord, are you trying to tell me something here?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm perfectly content and happy being a mommy and a wife, and I love what I do. But is this
Yeah.
something for me to do on top of that?
Right.
So yeah, I prayed. And I thought, well, I think maybe I should write a book. Can I write?
Hmm.
I don't know. I've never been a big dream kind of a person. I'm
Yeah.
just content in my little home with my kids and
Yeah. Yeah.
my garden and but I guess God had more for me. So I thought
Yeah.
to myself, well, I'm just gonna wait
Hmm.
until the kids are grown and gone, and then I'll write. In the meantime, I can just plot away in my head
Right.
and yeah, that didn't work.
Hmm.
I just had to start.
Huh.
So I actually started on paper and pencil.
Yep.
I'd put my baby down for his nap and my toddler
Yep.
down for his nap, and I'd give the other three a writing assignment, and I'd make a cup of tea and go to my room and lock the door.
Huh.
And I didn't have a laptop, nothing. I just started on paper.
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
did you start writing? Were
I
they
started
short stories?
writing this book.
Oh, you did.
I know I've done things so wacky. But it was just what I
Yeah,
was supposed to
exactly.
do. Yeah,
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't have a manuscript tucked away somewhere in a dark corner of my home. It's this book
Huh.
that I started. So I mean
Yeah.
it's definitely changed
Of course. Yeah.
as I've learned to write. But
Yeah.
no, it's this book. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And I another wacky thing I did, I didn't read any books on writing.
Uh-huh.
I didn't tell anyone that I was writing except for my
Mm.
husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of kept it to myself and
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, I actually finished the book. I did have a computer by then.
Yeah. Right.
I
Eventually
didn't
you
do
get
the
there.
whole
Yes.
thing. Yeah, my husband is like, wow, you're really serious about that. I think we should get you a laptop. So,
Hmm.
anywho, yeah,
Wow.
and that's when I found NCWA after I
Ah.
finished the book.
After you finished writing like a
Yeah,
full first
the
draft.
full first draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, before that, I didn't have room in my life. The kids were
Yeah.
so little, and
Right.
so God's timing is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Hands full and I
beautiful.
know. It's true. I
Mhm.
have a friend who always says his timing is perfect and his perfect is timing. Hmm.
Oh, I
There you
like
go. That's
that.
deep. It's not my own, but I like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
And he's never late. No, he's rarely early, but always on time.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
always often feels late to us,
I
but
know.
it's actually right on time for
Yeah,
him.
I mean, there were many days when I thought, what am I doing? This is
Yeah.
taking forever. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe this book is garbage. Yeah,
So when
but
did you actually give it to somebody else to read?
oh, okay. Well, how I found NCWA was for looking for writers conferences, and I found that
Okay.
they were having a conference. So
Yeah.
fear and trembling, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Literally terrified. I was shaking. So I went to that conference. That's where Kathleen and Kim, I met them both, and they just embraced me and welcomed me into their little, their stellar writing skills. And man, but at that conference, there was one slot left to have your book, your first chapters critiqued.
Oh, okay.
And funnily enough, it was Lynette Bonner
Okay.
who read my work, and
Yeah.
she's reading it, and I'm shaking, and and she's like, so point of view are we in, Karen? I'm like,
Oh, what's a point of view?
yeah, exactly. She's like, I think this is omniscience, just so you know. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, so I had so much to learn, but
Yeah.
even so, I'm so grateful for those 4 years just tucked
Right.
away quiet. It
Yeah.
was it was perfect for me.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went on to just voraciously, take in anything I could get from NCWA and other conferences and actually learn how to write. But she
Yeah.
did tell me, there's something here.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. You can work with this. You just need to
Okay.
learn the craft a little bit better. And I think this is going to be a great story. And now
Okay.
she's the one who actually designed my cover
Oh,
and
wow.
wrote an endorsement for this very book. So
That's
that was a full
amazing.
circle moment.
That's a very full circle. Very
Yeah.
cool. I know I started writing my first book
Yeah.
with a pad of paper and a pen and locked in my
Did
room.
you
Same thing.
too?
Oh, yeah, because I'm like,
I'm
are
not
you
the only
sure?
one.
Are you sure,
I
Laura?
know.
I've done some other things, but I've never written a book,
Yeah.
never even really wanted to write it. I, like you,
Yeah.
voracious reader, loved the world of
Yeah.
fiction, lost myself in it a lot of, but to write one, didn't
Mm,
know. And then
mm,
finally showed it to someone and said, well, it's not done, but there's something there, so keep going. So it's good to have
mm.
those people in your
Yeah.
life that mark that moment of, okay, this is worthwhile and
Absolutely.
keep moving
Absolutely.
forward.
Yes.
So you showed it to Lynette. You got involved with
Mhm.
NCWA. Did you get involved with
Mhm.
a critique group right away?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did you?
It was a different group back then. Kathleen and Kim were still in it.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Wow,
just
that's
kind of, after I moved and Mindy moved, we decided to form our own,
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because we're dear friends and
Yeah.
so prayer partners and
Yeah, that
yeah.
happens a lot. That's
Mhm.
but that's pretty precious to have that level of
Oh,
trust.
yeah. Yeah. I
But
don't
that's
know
a wide
how.
variety of genres in that group, true?
I know. Yeah. Well, Kim is the most farthest, but she's still, I mean, it still works.
The
And she's
farthest.
not that far out.
No.
She's urban fantasy. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but hers doesn't read like,
No, I've read her
science
stuff.
fiction or
Yeah,
anything. Yeah, it's
yeah,
marvelous.
it
She's
is
such
marvelous.
a good writer. Oh my
Yeah.
word. So, yeah, and Mindy writes women's fiction.
Okay.
Kathleen has a wide variety of genres, so
Okay. Oh,
she can
wow.
do any. Hmm.
That's beautiful to have right in your corner with you. How long did it take to go from that first conference to today when you have a book released?
Oh, I guess that was about 14 years.
Yeah.
It was a long, long journey. It's hard to find an agent.
So it took you a
Okay.
while so you decided to go the traditional publishing route. You said you were looking for an agent. Does that mean you decided traditional
Yes.
publishing? Ah,
Yes. Yes. It's kind of funny though. The whole marketing thing just seems way out of my league, right? I'm
right?
not a self-promoter. I don't like
Yeah.
that stuff. Um, and so I have an agent now. About a year ago, no, 2 years ago, I signed with her, and then Mountain Brook Ink offered me a contract. But they're a small publishing house, so I've actually had to learn all the marketing anyway. They do
Yeah.
have someone that helps me, but it's mostly,
Right.
it's a lot on me. And
Yeah.
I am invested in this book, and you know, I could just sit back and let them do things, but that's not that's not how I operate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How did you finally find an agent?
oh, that's a funny story. So, kind of funny. Yeah, she's the only agent that I never pitched to.
Huh.
So I've pitched to lots of agents and
Okay.
had some interest over the years, definitely one for sure, but he in the end decided no. Um and then I was at this little conference that's in Colorado Springs at the Glen Erie.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Glen
Um
Erie.
yeah, okay, yeah. So that's a tiny conference and it's not for pitching. It's for learning and for like a retreat.
Okay.
I have a writing coach mentor, Tim Shoemaker, who runs it, and I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I was there, and at the time I was helping, I was assisting in the conference directing, and
Okay.
my job was to find agents and editors and bring them in and do all that.
Yeah.
Um, and I saw Blythe Daniel there because she lives in Colorado Springs, and she was just there as an attendee with her kids.
Hmm.
And so I approached her. I'm like, hey, I'm Karen. I'm, blah, blah, blah. Introduced myself and asked her, would you be willing to consider coming to NCWA, the renewal conference? And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And so we ended up kind of palling around that weekend and just being friends.
Yeah.
And then one night at the dinner table, she's like, so Karen, what about you? What do you write? I'm like, I gave my little spiel, but very tiny spiel. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, why don't you send it to me sometime? And I actually said, but you don't do fiction. I
Oh,
like working with her. And she's like, oh, if it's the right project, I'll take on a fiction. I have a few fiction.
really?
So that's how it started.
Isn't
I
that
mean, I
funny?
didn't even really tell her about my book.
Yeah.
So, and then I sent it to her and she's like, yeah, let's do this.
Wow. I
It
love
was
that.
so organic.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
that funny? And you probably, if you'd have gone down a list of agents to query or to try to, she would
Oh,
not have been on it.
she would not have been on it. Absolutely not, because I thought I knew.
Yeah, you had
I
eliminated
didn't
her.
know. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, that's funny. Jehovah Sneaky, I call that one. Yes, he
Oh,
knows.
fun. I like that.
He
Yeah.
gets us into places we didn't know we needed to be.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So she started pitching your work to various publishing houses,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
has this agent done for you?
Oh, well, yeah, she did all the pitching stuff. My marketing was very weak. I had like 100 subscribers. So, the big houses
Right.
didn't want me. I hadn't started marketing yet,
Yeah.
which, I probably
Yes.
should have, but whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Mountain Brook Ink was really wanted it. They were very
Yeah.
excited about it. And so yeah, Blythe has helped me with all the contract stuff because
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
can
I
get
don't
complicated.
understand that stuff.
Yeah. Well, who does? I mean, even the people who write
I
those
know.
contracts.
Right.
So Mountain Brook Ink, that's
Mhm.
the name of your publishing house. It's located in Washington,
Yes.
I
Mhm.
see. And the team, Marilee Farrell, Kristen Johnson, Mandy Peterson, Cindy Jackson, and Tim Pietz?
Pete's. Hmm.
Pietz.
Hmm.
Interesting. Lovely. So they've been super helpful to you.
Yes, they have. They have, definitely. And they gave me a lot of freedom. I mean,
Did they?
I think big houses, you always hear, well, they're going to change your title, so don't worry too much. They didn't even talk about my title. They just went with it. They went with they just went with what I wanted. It was really
Mm.
kind of nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and working with Lynette on the cover, I filled out a
Yeah.
questionnaire, and the three of us, Lynette, myself, and Marilee, worked together to refine my vision. So,
Yes. It's a beautiful cover. It
thank
does
you.
draw you in, like, I want to go to that garden. Where is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they've been wonderful to work with. They just, I appreciate the freedom they've given me.
Ah, cool. So let's talk about the actual writing process. And this story it's set in Wenatchee,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Why Wenatchee? Did you live?
I'm
Because
actually
you've told me
writing a
other
blog
places you've
post.
lived.
I'm actually writing a blog post right now entitled Why Wenatchee?
Ah,
So,
perfect.
yeah. So my husband and I were both raised in the west side of of the state.
Yeah.
Um, we got married very young. We were sweethearts in high school, got married at
Oh,
18.
wow.
Um, and we just kind of wanted an adventure, I guess, that young. We no kids, obviously, didn't have kids for about 5 years. We always felt the call of central and eastern Washington, the
Yeah.
pine trees, the sagebrush, the rolling hills. We love it over there, which is
Hmm.
incidentally why we moved to Spokane. But yeah, so we would drive over there all the time and have adventures. And finally, we were like, my husband saw that the volunteer fire department needed volunteers, and
Okay.
he wanted to lean into that career,
Yeah.
see where that would take him.
Yeah.
And so we made the move. We moved to Wenatchee, 20 years
Wow.
old. didn't know anybody. It was great. And we only lived there for 2 years, but we just fell in love with the area. I should say the Wenatchee Valley, because I actually preferred like the Kashmir, Pashastan area, but Wenatchee had to grow on me because there's hardly any trees. Just those
well, coming from the west side to the east side, yes.
Yeah, and they turn brown in the summer, but I absolutely grew to love the feeling of those hills around me. I just, Psalm 121, is that it? It was always on my mind. I lift my eyes up to the where does my help come from? So, we just fell in love with the area. But so we lived there for 2 years. I called them our honeymoon years. So, and then we needed to move back to the west side for career purposes. And I had a decent job. His jobs were always seemed to be temporary. He was on with the fire department. He got his EMT, but it wasn't any pay. So.
Yeah, right.
So we moved back to this side. But anyway,
Wenatchee stuck in your heart.
Oh yeah.
Or the Wenatchee Valley, yeah.
Definitely. It was a little bit of magic in that place. So actually on the cover, I managed to snag a picture of the actual Wenatchee Hills. So those are on the cover. Those are the hills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's beautiful. My husband grew up in Eastern Washington, just north of Tri-Cities, between Tri-Cities and Ritzville, kind of. Wide open sagebrush farming land.
Yes.
And I came out to the UW and was, a West Sider girl, loved all the mountains and the water and the trees. But I meet him and we travel to Eastern Washington a lot. And I have met a lot of people, let's put it this way, who live in Seattle who've never gone east of the mountains.
That was me until I was like 15, I think. Yeah.
They've never gone east of the mountains. I'm like, okay, there's a whole other state over there.
It is. It's so diverse. It's crazy. I mean, you've got the alpine thing in the mountains, and then, oh man, and then the sagebrush, and then
the heat and the sunshine and the rivers.
I know, no traffic.
Yeah, I know.
Small town.
Yeah,
just that small town feel of, I don't know, slower pace of life.
Yeah. Slower pace of life.
I really love that.
Yeah. And I remember going there when we were in college and just the night sky was like, hello, I know these stars are there in Seattle, but you cannot see them.
Can't see them.
In Eastern Washington, there's wide open skies and it's easy to fall in love with that side of the mountains. So you started writing, Wenatchee was in your heart, and the young couple that you have must be pretty close to the age that you were.
Actually, they are.
Peter and Lindsay. Yeah.
Yeah, a little romance there.
A little bit of romance.
I had to put some in.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's a very sweet romance. Yeah. And it's tender because they are young. They are young, but it's also not current day. What year is it set in?
It's 96.
Yeah. 96. What made you go back to the 90s?
Well, it's all based on Posey, this kind of the central character, because I just really wanted her to be a war bride. That was just part of her story. And so, but I didn't want her to be, 95 either.
Right.
So I wanted around, late 60s, early 70s. And so I had to put it in 96.
Got it. So Posey is at the center of your story.
And I kind of appreciate the 90s.
Yes, more
there's
and
no
more.
cell phones, there's no texting, there's no social media. It's just kind of, it sets the tone for a more relaxed read, I think.
In some ways, but every now and then I'm like, just pick up your phone and call them. When I'm
I know
in the middle of reading your story, they're like, oh, that's right, you can't do that. It's the 90s. That's funny. So Posey's at the center, and she is a British war bride. And her husband is from the Wenatchee Valley, and they come back after the war and settle there. And that's at the core of this whole story, is Posey and the promise her husband made to her to build her an English garden, basically, and a lot of acreage, which is very, very sweet. Now, are you a gardener?
I am. I mean, if you looked at my garden right now, you might not agree with the title, but I love to garden. I
Do
do.
you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's different gardening in Eastern Washington than it is over where you are now on the
It
coast.
is. It is.
A whole
Yeah.
different,
Whole
yeah,
new world.
ecosystem and different world there. Well,
Hmm.
I enjoyed reading. I of course I enjoyed reading the story for the story's sake, but I also enjoyed it because my husband and I have owned an outdoor contracting business for almost 40 years.
Oh,
So
have you? Are
yes,
you?
yes. And my son now works for us, and he is a huge plant nerd. So
Ah,
I was
okay.
enjoying reading about your young landscapers who are
Right.
definitely if they've
Plant
fallen in
nerd.
love with plants and plant nerding and
Yeah. And each other incidentally along the way.
yes, along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that was yes, and you did a great job with that. So clearly you know something about gardening.
I do. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you done big projects or your own landscaping or
Just
what?
my own land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done anything big. Yeah, I grew up gardening with my mom, and
Oh, okay.
so yeah.
So
I
you've
didn't appreciate it back then because I always was the weeder. But I just it's therapeutic to just get your hands in the soil and
yeah.
let your
Oh
mind
yeah.
wander where it will, or have a time of praying and praising
Yeah.
while you're working the land.
Yeah.
It's it's wonderful.
There's something very
Soothes my
real about
soul.
it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
also then you get to watch things grow.
I know. It's great. And watch the bunnies eat my
I
flowers. Yeah. We have a major bunny problem
Okay,
where I
so
live.
just yesterday, I was out around a bunch of bulbs that were getting munched to pieces
Yeah.
by bunnies.
Yeah.
There's this thing called granulated fox urine. I kid you not.
Okay.
And you can sprinkle it all around in your garden, and the bunnies don't like it because they think
Okay.
predators have been there. It does
Oh,
not
well,
harm
I'll give it a
anyone. It does
try.
not harm birds. It does not harm plants, but it keeps bunnies away.
Okay. I sprayed something last year and it worked for like 2 days and then
Oh, yeah, because this is granular, so it sticks around a while. Unless you get a
exactly.
super heavy rain, it'll stay for
I'll
quite a
give it a
while.
try.
So there you
Thank
go.
you.
That's
Because
my
I
gardening
have a
tip.
love-hate relationship with them because they're so stinking cute and
I
there's
know
all these babies around right now and they're so cute.
they are,
But
but yes,
but man,
but man,
decimate
yes.
my plants.
I hear
Oh,
you. I hear you.
I guess there's worse things to complain about than bunnies, right?
Oh, I know. Oh, wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. First world problem, as my husband likes to
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, in your writing journey, which was over quite a few years,
Oh yeah.
what kept you going? Did you have scriptures that you went back to, or, things that helped you get over obstacles? What kept you going?
A good question. I think I'm a well, I like to call it tenacious. My
Mm-hmm.
husband might say stubborn. Um, I just wanted this. And
Hmm.
even when I wrote my first book, I wasn't like, I'm going to publish this. But after I wrote it, the first draft, I'm like, I prayed about it. I'm like, I think this needs to be up there. I think I want to
Huh.
share this. So, there was that. There's
Yeah.
also the writing process was extremely therapeutic for me, kind of like
Okay.
gardening.
Yep.
I just loved the process. I loved the
Hmm.
tries, like I'm writing and I don't know where this is going, and then poof, things line into place. I'm like, yes, and that really is what kept me going too.
Hmm.
And I just felt like God was just nudging me along, keep it going.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just
And
kept going.
having, like you mentioned, you had a critique group that would help you,
Yeah.
but also prayed alongside you through a
Yes.
lot of, just because
Yeah.
life keeps happening while you're
Yeah.
writing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And because I didn't have a lot of time to write, it
Yeah.
kind of became more precious,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So,
Yep.
I might have, as the kids grew and I'm running them all over the place, I'd learn to write in the car while they're
Hmm.
playing soccer,
Yeah.
or um, in the parking lot at school or wherever. I just learned to just always have my laptop with me and just write
Hmm.
in the moment. If it's a few minutes here, 10 minutes
Yep.
there, and I'd even have it on the counter in the kitchen
Yep.
while I'm cooking dinner, just in
Yeah.
case something pops up
Yeah.
in my head. So I think, yeah. And then all of a sudden my my son graduated and I have all this time And
Mm.
that was a whole new thing. And it was, again, it was perfect timing because I needed to put a lot of time into it, but I almost felt guilty.
Mm.
Like I should be folding laundry. I should be mowing the lawn. I should be, So I needed to change my perspective and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I have a contract. This is a career now. I have to do this and I have to dedicate time to it.
Mm.
So I had to push aside the guilt. Moms
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
it's just our life. It's
I
our
know.
life.
There's always something else to do.
Always
Yes.
something else to do.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I tell writers too, is like, if you don't prioritize your writing, nobody else will. People will
exactly.
gobble up your time left and right if you keep saying yes to everything else except this thing that God has given you to do, which is
Exactly. You're so
to
right.
write.
Hmm.
But
But
it's
at
hard to
the
do.
same time, my priorities when I first started writing, I actually wrote down on a slip of paper my priorities. I probably have it somewhere. Children, family first.
Yeah.
God first,
Yes.
family second, homeschooling those kids,
Yep.
need to be
Yep.
able to meet life and do
Yeah.
okay. And honestly, church and friends, the writing was kind of near the bottom. uh, but it still happened. So
Yeah, but then life, evolves and kids move
yeah,
out and they like
yeah,
do what you've actually been training them to do their whole life, is to move on and have their own life.
yes,
But then they
exactly.
leave you, which is
Mhm.
like it's going to happen, but it's a little shocking when it does.
It is, yeah, it's bittersweet. I had, let's see, three of my boys moved out together at the same time.
Wow.
So we went from, my daughter had already moved out. So we went from six in our house to three overnight.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah. And I was okay with it. I really was. It was pastime for them. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's
But adjustments need to be made. But then, like you
yeah,
say,
yeah.
space opens up in your world
Yes.
and you actually do have time and energy to
Hmm.
devote to this new
Yeah.
career that you have.
Yeah.
But you've been honing your craft all along the way. Like you just
Yeah.
kept
Just kept
working on the craft of
mhm.
it. And where
Yes.
did you find that help?
Well, NCWA primarily.
Hmm.
That was fabulous. The critique group. And then I went to different conferences, a lot of different conferences. I've been to so many.
Yeah.
That was really, I love conferences. It's just such an intentional time
Yeah.
of learning, getting away from the family who I love, but they are a distraction. So the time away was put to good
Mm.
use, meeting people and learning the craft. No laundry to do
You
with dinner
mentioned you had,
today.
yeah, no laundry for dinner.
So I was able to really guilt-free,
Yeah.
all in for 4 days or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you mentioned you had a writing coach, Tim
I
Shoemaker.
do. I do. Yeah.
How long has that been in place for you?
Gosh, I think about 9 years. I met him at Mountain.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just, I joined his early bird. It was an early bird session on mentoring and critiquing. And I wasn't going to do it, but the girl I was going with really wanted to. So I'm like, okay, let's
Okay.
go
Yeah.
big or go home, right? And so yeah, I went, I was in his group and I was like, I don't know, he writes fiction for boys and he
Yeah, he
writes
does.
like about smashing tomatoes. And I don't know if this guy can help me, but oh well.
Yeah.
This is the end. And oh my goodness, it was a perfect fit. He saw stuff in my first chapter. I mean, my
Hmm.
critique group had been over and over and over and over it. Bless their hearts, because I just kept working on it. And I thought it was perfect. But then I mean he's so experienced.
Yeah.
He saw things in there that none of us had seen,
Hmm.
that needed to be worked on. But he also gave me just such a boost of confidence because he
Hmm.
loved it. Um, and I don't know, we just kind of clicked and I
Yeah.
kind of stuck with him
Yeah.
and sent him things. And then he's a dear friend. So
Hmm.
we just talk about everything, honestly, and
Yeah.
pray for each other. And so that's been special.
Yeah, that's very
I didn't
special.
know I needed him. And
Right.
yeah, we're just so grateful. So
There's so much we don't know we need when we start this whole writing thing.
I know, but God does.
He
Yeah.
does. He
It's so
connects us with the
precious.
right people at the right time. So
Yeah.
did your publisher connect you with editors? How did that work for you, the editing process?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was all in-house in Mountain Brook
Okay,
Ink. So they did the edits.
all of it.
Yeah, yeah, they did all of it. So, and they saw
Several,
stuff too. So,
right?
yeah, gosh, there was one time like Marilee's like, Karen, you have, and she named a number. I don't remember what it was, but it was in the hundreds of the word and, starting a sentence with and this is how many sentences start with but, and this is you have like 3,000 uses of the word just. Oh my word, that was a hard week getting through all that. But
Right.
yeah,
I know.
it's better. It's better because of it. So
Right.
yeah,
That's what I noticed
I'm really
too.
grateful because I never saw that.
No, because you
I'm
tend
too
to
close
write
to it.
as you think too. And
Yeah.
I remember one of my editors, she sent me a whole bunch of notes and she said, read through them all, but then leave them alone for 3 days because you're going to be really mad.
Ah. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
and
was
she was
really
right.
happy.
She
Hmm.
was right. I was, but then
Hmm.
okay, emotions need to settle and because it's your
Right.
baby,
I know.
you spent a lot of
Yeah.
years and time and energy on it. But then you come
Hmm.
back to it and you go, you know what?
Hmm.
She's absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you
Spot
got to
on.
go back and do the work. But as you do the work, you learn the craft. At least that's
Yes.
with my experience. Be
Hmm.
willing to go back and do the work. And then the next thing you write is better because you
Yeah.
already have that
Yeah.
tool under your
I'm hoping
belt. So,
so.
yeah, you
I think
will
it
be.
will.
It's a guaranteed. I mean, because it's an
Yeah.
upgoing, what does he say in scriptures? That the path of the righteous goes brighter and brighter till the noonday. So
I like that.
that's part of our inheritance as believers is that he's always taking us in an upward trajectory. Although
Hmm.
sometimes I heard someone say it is upward, but sometimes it's like spiraling around a mountain. So you feel like you're coming back to the same thing over, but you're like 2 feet up from the last time you were on that path. And the next time you're
Uh,
another 2 feet up. So you're spiraling upward
right.
even when it feels like you're just going in circle.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you. Beautiful image.
Yes. It
Hmm.
helped me. It helped me to not get discouraged. It was like, I'm back here again doing revisions. Like, okay, but I'm not where I was the last time I was doing revisions.
Right. Right. Yes.
I'm actually closer to the end than I was prior to that. So your book has been out for just a little bit, but are you getting any feedback yet from everyday readers?
Well, my launch team has given me tremendous support and encouragement.
Yeah,
I actually haven't checked my email today yet. So, I mean, I don't, well, actually, I've heard from a couple of my critique group's
yeah.
moms. They
Oh,
liked
really?
it. Yeah. But your average everyday person reader that I don't know, I have not heard yet, but
Yeah. You'll
I hope
get
I
there.
will. I hope I
Oh, of
will.
course you
That's
will.
like almost the reason why I do this.
Right?
Want, I want them to be warmed by God's love
Yeah.
through the story. So,
Yeah. It is a heartwarming story, but it's not like perfect characters there's lots of like everyday challenges and real, I
mhm.
think relational
Yeah,
challenges
yeah,
is kind of the grist
yeah,
of the story,
right.
on lots of different levels.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, I kind of like that it ended up being there's a young couple, there's a middle-aged couple, and then there's Posey in her
Yeah.
70s. So, hmm.
Lots of the complications of how we relate with our parents, how we relate with our
Right,
children.
right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even Posey's like, oh, now you have fully grown adult children, and that's not always easy either.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you did a good job of multi-layering the tensions of relationships, but also bringing some resolution to it. Not completely, because you've still
Not
got a
completely.
couple of books to write. And
Yeah.
how far are you in that journey of writing book two?
The second book has been turned in. I'll probably get edits this summer.
Okay.
And the third book is written, but it's not quite to my satisfaction yet. So I
Okay.
need to go back and
Oh, so
tweak
you're a
some
long
things
ways into
there.
the three-part
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. My goal was to get book number 3 done before this one launched.
Yeah.
I got it done well before.
Wow.
That
Good.
was It's good.
Can you give us a sneak preview of what is book two? Who does it focus on?
It focuses on, it continues Twyla and Jesse's
Okay.
sad story. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because I'm like, you left us hanging with
Yeah.
Twyla and Jesse for sure. Oh,
Hmm.
good. I'm
Yeah.
glad. So I'll look forward to book number two. Do you have a date, like a future date when that's set to launch or?
It's in March of 27.
Okay,
So
so about
about
a
a
year from
year
now.
away. And then
Okay.
the third one will come about a year after that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very nice. Wonderful. So I saw on your bio, I was intrigued by this. You're the founder and a teacher of a teen writing society.
Oh yeah, well I was. That was
Okay.
in Spokane. Yeah, I started a teen writing society. It was a lot of fun. It lasted for about a year before we had to move. We had to
Oh, okay.
business troubles and struggles kept made us actually have to leave Spokane for the time
Okay.
being
Yeah.
and move to our beach house, which has been phenomenal. It's like a little
Yeah.
cocoon there. But anyway, yeah, I it was fun. Uh,
Why did you do it? Were your kids
well,
teenagers at the
my
time or?
son, my youngest son, actually all my boys are writers, but my
Hmm.
youngest just really wanted to go deeper in it, and he wanted some friends that liked to write.
Okay.
In the homeschooling community, there's a lot of interest in writing
Okay.
among the teens.
Yeah.
So I just went ahead and started. We held it once a month at my
Yeah.
house. I would teach them, and we'd eat popcorn and we'd practice, and it was fun. So
Yeah. So the stuff that you learned from homeschooling and then the stuff you were grabbing from conferences and you were
oh
just
yeah, I knew
handing
enough
it
by
on.
then that I felt confident enough that I
Yeah.
could teach these kids. So I wrote up my own workshops. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. Passing it on to the next generation.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know any of them are continuing to write or?
Yeah, actually, I just ran into one of them. We were in Spokane a week ago. Was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago? I don't know. It's a blur. Yeah, and I ran into one of my girls, and she's like taller than me now, and she used to be
Yeah.
like this, and she's still writing. She switched
Mm.
genres, and she's all excited. So that was really cool.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty wonderful to keep. I really do love that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So do you have any tips that you would give to a writer that's just starting or is in that early stages of getting that
Hmm.
first draft that you
Hmm.
would say to him, this is something I learned along the way that I would advise?
That's a very good question. I think start your writing time with prayer. And I confess I'm not very good about that myself, but when I do, it changes things.
Hmm.
Um, and just keep going. Keep that dream alive. Do what you need to do. Spend the money to go to the conferences.
Hmm.
Keep the dream alive. Because if it's in your heart to write, then you need to write. You need to be obedient because
Yeah.
that's a God-given desire. I really firmly believe that. And if you don't have all your ducks in a row, like I did not have my ducks in a row, you need to start with paper and pencil. Just do it. Just
Yeah.
journal.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do, but just keep going.
Yeah.
Even if it's 5 minutes a day.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah. I remember the first time I sat down with my pen and paper after I heard the Lord say, write a book. I said, well, this ought to be interesting because I don't know what I'm doing. But I
Yeah.
do remember starting with prayer because I was so terrified. Like, I have no idea how to do this. I said, okay, Lord, I give you my imagination.
Hmm.
Uh, and I didn't realize how like important that was to just say, I think sometimes in scripture, imagination gets sort of a bad rap. Like
Yeah.
it's like evil imaginations or whatever.
Yeah.
But there is a verse in Isaiah 26. It says, you will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is steadfast because he trusts in you. But in the original Hebrew, it says, you will keep in perfect peace him whose imagination, actually, it says,
Mm.
he whose imagination is framed upon you. So, like when you put your imagination in the frame of his thoughts towards you, then that's where you find perfect peace.
I
So
love
for
that.
me to say, okay, Lord, all my imagination, like I've always had kind of a crazy imagination to the point sometimes to my own detriment, but like here it is. Sanctify it. Let's use it for
Oh,
good, Let's,
yeah,
because you gave it
yeah.
to me. This is not like, I don't know if animals have imaginations. I know they think, but I don't know, but I know people have imaginations for a reason
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes,
we're made in his image. So
yes.
handing him my imagination and saying, help me. And he
Mm,
did. Like he met me there, like you said, where the story was something I didn't know. I didn't know where it was going. And then you'd
mm,
be like, all of a sudden it would unfold and you go, oh, well, that's where we're going. Wow.
brilliant.
It is brilliant. And I don't know about you, but I found it got to be, at first, my first book, I'm like, I don't know if this is for anyone else. Maybe
Hmm.
this is just for me and him to practice
Hmm.
like creating together.
Yeah, and obedience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I'm going to step out slightly terrified and then you meet me there and then we make something. Wow.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
and
wonderful.
and I often go back to the parables to
Mm,
kind of buoy myself up because if if stories were so important that Jesus actually told them, then they hold weight in this
yeah.
world. And actually, I don't know that you know this, but A Garden Grows was inspired by the parable of the sower.
Oh,
And I wrote it as those four soils fleshed out in real life,
okay.
in modern day. So the four gardeners, her crew, they each represent a different soil. So it's
That
there
makes
for you
total
if you
sense.
want it, but if you, and that's why I have five basically main characters in my first
Yep.
book. That's not what most people do. It's not what most people teach to do, but that was the story that God I gave me. Um, so yeah, I
That makes
it's
total
there if
sense
you
when you
want it,
say
but
that.
it's like
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
not if you're not into allegories, and it's not an allegory. Yeah, it's inspired. So because allegories are kind of a bad word in fiction right now, but yeah, it's there if you
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely there. Now that you mentioned, I'm like, why didn't I see that? Now I see it
Oh
completely. Boom, boom,
well.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And I think parables, there's a reason he said he used parables. He said, for some people, they have eyes to see and ears to hear. Like he could speak plainly to his
Yes.
disciples, but whenever he spoke to the crowds, it was in
Hmm.
parables so that they
Right.
actually could like bypass all of their, I don't know, cynicism or
They
criticism
have
or,
their
uh,
predispositions.
yeah,
Mhm.
and logic and just kind of go
Mhm.
back behind all that and then
And
something
captivate them
lands.
with
Yeah,
story. Hmm.
captivate them with story, draw them in, and then the
Hmm.
truth lands.
Yes.
Boom,
Yep.
oh, light bulbs go on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right, my friend, we need to wrap this up again.
Okay.
I've just really
Oh,
enjoyed the time, Karen. I thank you for all of your efforts and the things that you've gone through to get this book finally up and out where the rest of us can
thank you, Lady
enjoy
Joe.
the
Thank you.
wonderful, the wonderful, wonderful world of Posey and all of her gardeners. So again, let me make sure I say the name of their book. It's called A Garden Grows, and it's the first book in the Hills of Harvest series. And it's available wherever books are sold. Is that true?
Wherever
Or
books are sold, Amazon. It's
do you
actually on
have it out,
Amazon.
ebook
Yes, it's an
versions?
ebook. Audiobook is coming.
Okay, good.
And
Hi.
paperbacks. Oh,
All right. So
yeah.
get yourself A Garden Grows. You've got a year to get through it before before book number two comes, because you're going to want the next book because these characters capture your heart. They're real, they're heartwarming, and you have messages behind there that land, in our everyday lives. I appreciated it, Karen.
Well, thank you so much, Winnie Joe. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Spend
good.
time with you.
Yeah, and well, I hope to meet you face to face soon. I think
Yes,
maybe even tonight.
I think tonight.
Tonight's the night. Yay! Excellent. All right, to all of my listeners, as usual, I so appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you found something here today that keeps you moving forward in your journey. Blessings and peace to you. Shalom, shalom.